Good morning, students. So, welcome to chemistry class. So, I will start today solid state. Solid state part 1. So, today our topic is solids. What is meant by solid? What are the characteristics of solids? And how solids are classified. So, today we are going to discuss characteristics of solids and the classification of solids. As you know, in class 11 we have the chapter states of matter. In that chapter already we discussed, we learned gaseous state. That means that includes gas laws, Boyle's law, Charles law, Avogadro's law, ideal gas equation, Van der Waals gas equation, isotherms. So, all these topics are related to states of matter, particularly state of gaseous state. So, in the same chapter, we learned vapor pressure, surface tension, viscosity. These are related to liquid state. So, gaseous state and liquid state over. Same liquid state is covered in physics also. Now, the remaining one, solid state, is the first chapter now in class 12th. Solid state. So, what is meant by solid? You know, from class 7th class onwards, matter, states of matter, what is matter, how many types of matter are there, like that. So, there are three types of matter. In that, it is one of the form, one form. Solid is one of the form in which particles are strongly arranged. So, the state of matter in which constituent particles are bonded with strong forces of attraction. So, what is meant by solid? So, solid is the state of matter in which constituent particles are bonded with strong force of attraction. So, solids are mainly classified into two types. Solids are mainly classified into two types, that is crystalline solid and amorphous solid. But both types have some characteristics. So, what are the first characteristic? Solids have definite mass, definite volume, definite shape. Solids have definite mass, definite volume and definite shape. Second point is the intermolecular distances are short. That means in solids the distance between particle to particle is very less. What is meant by intermolecular? Intermolecular means between the molecules. Between the molecules distances are very less. That means in solids particles are arranged very close to each other. Intermolecular forces are more. Intermolecular forces are maximum. Intermolecular distances are minimum. What is the third characteristic? Intermolecular forces are strong. Intermolecular forces are strong. So, next one, they are incompressible and rigid. Now, you can see the picture. In this picture, it is a crowded bus. In this crowded bus, people, passengers inside the bus, they cannot move from one place to another place easily. So, but they can oscillate there only. They can oscillate there only. So, oscillation is possible, but movement is not possible, and further packing also not possible. You can inside some other people also not possible. So, they are incompressible and rigid. Next one is diffusion. About diffusion, solids, in solids rate of diffusion is very less. Solids rate of diffusion is, they show very slow diffusion. You know, gas diffuses faster. Perfume or gas, any gas leakage is there, it can reach from one place to another place in fraction of seconds, in seconds. So, their rate of diffusion is more. So, solids rate of diffusion is less. Actually, diffusion is inversely proportional to mass. If mass is more, if density is more, diffusion is less. Generally, solids are highly dense. So density is more. So diffusion is less. So this is one more characteristic. And the last one is constituent particles oscillate. Constituent particles cannot move randomly, but they can oscillate at themselves in that particular place only. So these are the characteristics of solids. What is the first characteristic? Solids have definite shape, definite volume and definite mass. Next, second point is their intermolecular space is very less. Intermolecular forces are strong. Intermolecular forces are strong. They show very slow diffusion. Constituent particles can oscillate. So these are the characteristics of solids. Okay. So next, after that, classification of solids. You know, already I told you. So solids are mainly classified into two types. What is the first type? Type 1 is a crystalline solid. What is the type 1? Crystalline solid. Example for crystalline solid is a quartz. Quartz is example for crystalline solid. What is the type 2 solids? Type 2 solids are amorphous solids. Amorphous solids example is glass. Glass is an example for amorphous solid. Crystalline solid example is quartz. Glass is an example for amorphous solid. Okay. So now we will start discuss about crystalline solids. I given some pictures here of examples for crystalline solids. What is the first example? You can see diamond. Next, sodium chloride, that is salt, common salt. Next, some arrangement of crystalline solids. You can see in these structures, what is the common observation? In these structures, particles arranged regularly arranged, orderly arranged. So these type of solids are called crystalline solids. What are crystalline solids? The constituent particles are orderly arranged. The solids in which the constituent particles are orderly arranged are called crystalline solids. What are crystalline solids? The solids in which constituent particles are orderly arranged are called crystalline solids. Crystalline solids have long range order. That means this order is unlimited. So everywhere you can see a solid, that order is present everywhere. So that discipline is present everywhere. So that is long range order. And next point is sharp melting points. You know, melting point, at that temperature particular solid is converted into liquid. The temperature at which solid is converted into liquid is called melting point. So what about the melting point of crystalline solids? Crystalline solids have sharp melting point. That means you take particular solid. Suppose solid X is a solid. Its melting point is 1031.5 degrees centigrade. 1031.5 degrees centigrade. So that means you start heating. Temperature reached 1000, no change. 1030, no change. 1031.5 degrees. Then at particular temperature, this solid is converted into liquid. So at particular, that 1031.5 degrees centigrade, at particular temperature, the complete conversion of solid into liquid takes place. So sharp melting point. Below that temperature, it is present as a solid. After that temperature, it is present as a liquid. So it exists as a solid before the temperature. It exists as a liquid after the temperature. So that means at a particular temperature, the conversion takes place. So that means sharp melting point. So that means these crystalline solids you can observe orderly arranged. Particles are orderly arranged. Second, they have long range order. Next point, they have sharp melting point. Next one is anisotropic. It is very important. So anisotropic is the antonym word of isotropic. There are two words, isotropy, anisotropy. Isotropic, first I will discuss isotropic. Iso means same, trope means property, same properties. Isotropic means same properties, anisotropic means different properties. What is anisotropic? Different properties. That means you take one crystalline solid. In that crystalline solid, there are three dimensions, x, y and z. X, y, z. In x axis, properties are different. In y axis, properties are different. In z axis, properties are different. That means they have different properties in different directions. They have different properties and different directions. This type of phenomenon is called anisotropic. Anisotropic. Crystalline solids are anisotropic. Up to now, we have discussed three properties of crystalline solids. What are the properties? In crystalline solids, constituent particles are orderly arranged. Next, they have long range order. Next, they have short melting point. And they exhibit anisotropy. They exhibit anisotropy. What is meant by anisotropy? They have different physical properties in different directions. Here one question, what type of physical properties they are? What type of physical property? You remember MEO. MEO. What is M? Mechanical properties. E, electrical properties. O, optical properties. Suppose refractive index, optical property. Electrical conductivity, electrical property. So tensile strength, mechanical property. Mechanical properties, electrical properties and optical properties are different in different directions. So this phenomena is called anisotropy. Crystalline solids exhibit anisotropy. You can see in this picture, you can take any circle, any ring. In ring, how many atoms are present? 6 atoms are present. That red colored atoms, how many are there? 6. In second ring also 6 atoms. In third ring also 6. In fourth, fifth, 6, 7, 8. Whatever the ring you take, 6 atoms are present. So that means order is present in first ring, next level, second level, next third level, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 like that. So this order exists anywhere. So that means long range order, orderly arranged. Now we will go to next point, crystalline solids. What are the remaining properties of crystalline solids? Now next property is crystalline solids are considered as true solids. Crystalline solids are considered as true solids. Another variety is there, that is we will see next type. Now crystalline solids are considered as true solids. Now next point is they undergo clean cleavage. You take one metal rod or item and try to break the crystalline solid. Then crystalline solid gives some pieces. Now you check that pieces also, small crystalline solid also. That small crystalline solid also has flat surface and sharp edge. You break again that small crystalline solid into two pieces. You can observe it also gives flat surface and sharp edge. So that means they undergo clean cleavage. If you break one crystalline solid, it gives two pieces with a flat surface. Again you break that one. So crystalline solids undergo clean cleavage. Next point is crystalline solids have definite heat of fusion. Crystalline solids have definite heat of fusion. What is meant by heat of fusion? Anybody? What is meant by heat of fusion? In last year thermodynamics chapter it is there. Heat of fusion means the amount of heat energy required to convert 1 mole of solid into liquid. The amount of heat energy required to convert 1 mole of solid into liquid is called heat of fusion. You take crystalline solids, they have definite heat of fusion. You calculate heat of fusion for particular solid sodium chloride. Today it needs some amount. Tomorrow also it needs some amount. Same amount. So you can see in this place. Next you can check in another lab. You will get same value. That means their heat of fusion is definite. Particular energy, it is fixed. For one crystalline solid, heat of fusion is fixed. These are the properties of crystalline solids. What are crystalline solids? What are the characteristics of crystalline solids? They are orderly arranged. Second, long range order. Next, third one is they. What is the first one? Their particles are regularly arranged. Long range order. Next, they have sharp melting points. They are considered as true solids. They undergo clean cleavage. Crystalline solids have definite heat of fusion. One more important property, they are anisotropic. Again, I will explain what is anisotropy. Some solids, crystalline solids, exhibit different physical properties in different directions. Different physical properties, different electrical properties, different optical properties, different mechanical properties in different directions. So you can check these 6 properties for crystalline solids. All are positive, means they are regular, they have long range order, they have sharp melting point, true solids, true, clean cleavage, definite. All are positive words, but only one is anisotropic. Opposite word, anisotropic. Different physical properties in different direction. You have to remember like this. Crystalline solids all positive, regular, definite, clean, true, like this. But anisotropic, different properties in different directions. Now we will go to some examples of crystalline solids. What are the examples? Diamond. You know, last year group 14 P block elements, in 10th class also you seen diamond, graphite are the crystalline allotropes of carbon. All metals are crystalline solids, all ionic compounds are crystalline solids. So these are examples for crystalline solids. Here I will show some pictures of crystalline solids. Diamond, salt, rock salt, mica, sugar, and some pictures you can see if you visit any museums, science parks, you can see some pictures, some samples of crystalline solids. I collected some museum pictures, some pictures of crystalline solids collected from museum. So these are there. So it is one crystalline solid. This is another crystalline solid, quartz. So these are the pictures of crystalline solids. Now you will go to amorphous solids. You can see in this picture, in ring, a particular ring, in one ring 10 atoms are there, in another ring 5 atoms are there, in another ring 7 atoms are there. That means you can say here no order, no form. The amorphous word itself. What is the meaning of amorphous? Amorphous word means no form, no particular geometry, no order. So how to define amorphous solids? The solids in which the constituent particles have no regular arrangement. The constituent particles have no regular arrangement and have short range order. This type of solids are called amorphous solids. No regular arrangement, irregular arrangement. The solids with irregular arrangement are called amorphous solids. So no sharp melting point. Whereas in crystalline solids, they have sharp melting point. Here no sharp melting point. You take some solid, its melting point is suppose 1050, then it starts melting from 900 degrees. It starts melting from 900 degrees to 1100 degrees. So in between it has some range, not particular, it has some range. It has no sharp melting point and melt over a range of temperature. Next point, isotropic. Already told, isotropic means physical properties are same in all directions. If same in all directions, but in crystalline solids, different properties in different directions, that phenomena is called anisotropy. This phenomenon is called isotropy. Amorphous solids all have negative words, but it is isotropy. What is the first negative word? No regular, irregular. What is the second one? No sharp melting point, no sharp melting point. Next point is, next going to discuss, these are called pseudo solids. These are called pseudo solids. Amorphous solids are called pseudo solids. Crystalline solids are called true solids. They are true solids, but these solids are pseudo solids, or one more name is also there, super cooled liquids. These are also called super cooled liquids. Next characteristic, irregular cleavage. If you break amorphous solid, it gives some pieces, that pieces do not have flat surface, or sharp edge. So irregular surface, irregular edges. So amorphous solids become a crystalline solid at particular temperature. You can convert amorphous solids into crystalline solids by heating. That phenomena has some name. We will discuss that phenomena later. Okay. So irregular cleavage. Next point, glass objects of ancient civilization appears milky. You can see in old buildings, you can see newly constructed building, that glass is transparent. You can see that glass, and you can compare that glass with old buildings glass. In old buildings, that glass is not that much clear. You can see in that lower portion of that glass, bottom of that glass, you can find the thickness is more, whereas in top it is thickness is less. That means glass slowly it is flowing from top portion to bottom. So that means fluidity is there. It can flow. Glass is a solid, but it can flow. Some solids can flow. So that type of solids are called pseudo solids. So that's why amorphous solids are pseudo solids. Why fluidity property? Amorphous solids have fluidity property because it is a super cold liquid. Question in exams, can ask like this: glass windows in old buildings appear thick at bottom. Why? Glass window in old buildings appear thick at bottom. Why? Because glass can flow. What is the answer? There only there. Amorphous solids, glass is a amorphous solid. Amorphous solids have fluidity property. Understood? What is the question? Glass windows in old buildings appear thick at bottom. Why? What is the answer? Glass is an amorphous solid, and amorphous solids have fluidity property. So this is about amorphous solids. Amorphous solids, you can see it is an example here. One picture I kept here, one picture, that is powder. So you can take a chalk powder. Chalk powder is also amorphous solid. So again we will compare both differences between crystalline solids and amorphous solids. Differences between crystalline solids and amorphous solids. First one, related with regarding shape. Crystalline solids have definite and regular form. Definite and regular geometrical form. You take diamond has definite shape, regular geometrical structure is there. So gemologists, they can see that diamond is whether it is fake or it is original by seeing their internal geometrical structure only. So amorphous solids, they do not have definite and regular geometrical form. You can take rubber, you can take one packet of rubbers, then they have different sizes. Even though company prepared same size, but length will vary, their structure will vary because they do not have definite and regular geometrical form. What about melting point? Already we discussed crystalline solids. Crystalline solids have definite melting point. That means they have definite melting point, means they melt at particular temperature. Suppose melting point is 1031.1, means it melts at 1031.1 degrees centigrade only. Okay, before the temperature it is in solid state. After the temperature it is in liquid state. Whereas in amorphous solids they do not have definite sharp melting point. They do not have sharp melting point, but they have range. They can melt at a wide range. So from this temperature to this temperature it will melt. So these are the differences. Next difference is heat of fusion. They have definite heat of fusion. Crystalline solids have definite heat of fusion. Amorphous solids, they do not have definite heat of fusion. What about next property? Compressibility. Crystalline solids are highly rigid. Is compressing diamond is possible? No. So compressibility, they are highly compressible. They are rigid, highly rigid and incompressible. Amorphous solids, these may be compressed to some amorphous solids you can compress like plastic. You can take plastic bottles or plastic materials, you can compress to some appreciable extent. So these also, next we will go to next difference, cutting with sharp edged tool. You use some knife or hammer and try to break some crystalline solid, you will get some pieces. That pieces have sharp edge, flat surface. They give clean cleavage. That is, they break into two pieces with plain surfaces. Whereas in amorphous solids, they give irregular cleavage. They break into two pieces with irregular surface. You can say in this picture, if I cut this solid with a sharp edge tool, so first you cut one, first I got two pieces with a sharp, flat surface. But in second one, that cleavage is not regular. Some scratches type will be there. So second, what is the second type of solid? It is a amorphous solid. If a flat surface is there, regular cleavage is there, then it is a crystalline solid. Irregular cleavage is there, then it is a amorphous solid. Next is a very important topic. So that is crystalline solids are anisotropic, amorphous solids are isotropic. You see in crystalline solid, all particles are arranged regular manner. If you draw one line, it will touch, suppose you take all pink points there, I guess some atoms in pink color. You go through that line, you can touch only pink. So that properties of pink atoms is different. You can touch, you can draw one line by touching only green atoms. That properties are different. So that means a particular line properties are different. But in amorphous solids, you cannot find that regularity because amorphous solids irregularly arranged. You can see any part, they are mixed both. You cannot separate a particular line with green particles. You cannot find a particular line with pink particles. So in this case, so you can say atoms are mixed irregularly. So properties, you can say properties, you can find everywhere properties are same. Properties are same in all directions. So amorphous solids are isotropic. But in crystalline solids, properties are different. You can see another example here. X along Y along Z. Here in this picture you can see is the soldiers. In this parade you can see in a particular line. It is a one team. Suppose you can see in class, in school assembly also, boys side, girls side. Boys side, girls side, they are separate. So, but you can see in ground, you can see in public meeting somewhere, both will mix together. So here like that, boys, girls, some regular arrangement is there, their properties are different. In public meeting, mixed. So their properties are not different. You can find, it is difficult to separate particular male, female, children like this in this gathering, public gathering. So their properties, similar properties along all directions. They are isotropic. Here, if you can differentiate that means along X arrangement, along Y, along Z, their arrangement is regularity is there, then property you can differentiate. They have different properties and different directions. So again, once again I will tell, crystalline solids all have regular terms except last property, that is anisotropic. Amorphous solids all have negative terms, irregular arrangement, no sharp, no definite, but is isotropic in nature. So what about physical state? Crystalline solids are called true solids, amorphous solids are called pseudo solids. Amorphous solids are called pseudo solids. So examples for crystalline solids: quartz, diamond. Amorphous solids: rubber, plastic. So here one more point. Same compound silica. In last year, group 14 elements. In P blocks chapter, group 14 elements. In last topic, we discussed silica, silicates, silica there. Quartz, you can see quartz, formula SiO2. Glass formula also SiO2. But arrangement is different. You can find in first diagram, orderly arranged. Orderly arranged means that is crystalline. In second form, that order is not there, irregular. First one is regular, that means crystalline. Second one is irregular, so that means it is amorphous. Components in crystalline solids are uniformly arranged, while those in amorphous solids not uniformly arranged, that means randomly arranged. In quartz particle atoms are regularly arranged. In glass, irregular arrangement. You remember, try to remember, quartz is a crystalline solid, formula is SiO2. Glass is an amorphous solid, its formula also SiO2. Okay, next summary. In today's class, what I explained up to now, I explained what is solid. What is solid? Just try to recollect what is solid. The physical state of matter in which particles are held strongly with strong forces of attraction. They are called solids. Solids are classified into crystalline solids and amorphous solids. Again, I discussed what are the characteristics of solids. They have definite shape, definite volume, definite high density, rigidity. Next, fusion, diffusion, rate of diffusion, these properties discussed. Now, I am giving two MCQs, so try to answer this one. Which of the following is an amorphous solid? Here some examples given. Which of the following is an amorphous solid? Quartz glass, graphite, chrome alum, silicon carbide, SiC, silicon carbide. Graphite, you know, graphite C. What is graphite C? Is it crystalline or amorphous? Yes, graphite is crystalline allotrope of carbon. Quartz glass. Just now I told glass is an amorphous form. Chrome alums are crystals. Alums are double salts. Alums are double salts. So they are ionic compounds. Alums are ionic compounds. So they are crystalline solids. Silicon carbide, you try to remember, silicon carbide has another name, carborundum. Silicon carbide has another name, carborundum. Its structure is similar to diamond. It is also hard material like diamond. Its structure is similar to diamond. That means it is a crystalline solid. Now what is the answer for this question? What is the answer? Yes. What is the answer? Yes. Quartz glass. Next, we will go to next question. Which of the following is true about the value of refractive index of quartz glass? Again, which of the following is true about the value of refractive index of quartz glass? Quartz glass. Already I told quartz glass is amorphous solid. Amorphous solids means they have physical properties. Physical properties are same in all directions because amorphous solids are isotropic. So what is the answer now? Same in all directions because refractive index is a physical property. Very good. Next, here I given two questions. Try to think these questions related to today's our topic only. It is not covered in our NCERT book, but the topic is same related to crystalline solids and amorphous solids. Quenching. What is quenching? What is annealing? Try to think. Try to get answer in tomorrow class or before starting class. Try to give answer these answers. What is quenching? What is annealing? Next, here I will give some homework. Try to write this homework in notebook. Start, dear students, start writing notebook. First chapter, what in this presentation, in this class, what I explained, same order you try to write notes. After completion of that notes, you try to answer these 4 questions, homework questions with answers. Plus, along with this, in our textbook, in NCERT textbook, some in-text questions, there 6 in-text questions are there related to today's class. You try to answer that 6 questions also by tomorrow class. Okay, tomorrow morning I will check, I will ask whether you answered or not. Okay, thank you for your support. Okay.